Hello everybody, and welcome to our next video in our series that explores every single tool in the myCADtools suite. Last week we took a look at the dependencies tool, and this week we'll look at the complement to the dependencies tool, the SearchPaths tool. So as we pointed out in our previous video, the dependencies tool allows you to maintain dependencies between SolidWorks assemblies, parts, and drawings just by pointing the tool at the correct directory which holds all of those SolidWorks files. Well, with SearchPaths, this gives you a different way to make sure that you maintain dependencies by utilizing SolidWorks' powerful search capabilities. So before we explore the interface of the SearchPaths tool, let's go ahead and set up a hypothetical here. We have two assemblies here. We have a wheel carriage and a plunger assembly, and we have the corresponding parts for those assemblies in this folder here titled Library Parts. If we take a look at these assemblies using the dependencies tool, then you can see that the parts associated with this plunger assembly are in fact in this library parts folder. The same would be true for the wheel carriage. But what would happen if we wanted to organize these library parts a little bit better? Let's say that we want to make two new folders, each containing the parts that are associated with the assembly above it. So let's just go ahead and grab all of these, and we'll call this folder wheel carriage. Let's go ahead and make a new folder here. Call it plunger, and put the rest of these files into this folder. So now, by moving those files into their own folders, we've broken the dependencies here. So if I click the plunger, it'll ask me, where would you like to locate these files? And that's just because we broke those dependencies. So I'll close this without saving. Now, we could use the dependencies tool here. However, we can also use the SearchPaths tool. So let's go ahead and grab that again. And you see we have the SearchPaths tool. We're going to skip this top section called existing folders because we're only concerned right now with new folders. And right below it, it says list of search files to add to SolidWorks. So this is where we would add the top level folder that we'd like SolidWorks to look for all of our corresponding parts for that assembly. So before I do that, we also have some filters. We can filter by all files, or we can select only the folders with part files, or select only the folders with assembly files, or we can select both. However, all files does that just as well. We can make sure SolidWorks checks in all subfolders as well. So let's go ahead and add a folder and see what we can do. I'm just going to add this entire folder called MLC. Click OK, and that folder shows up right here. Now when I click Apply, we get a warning message that says, for the tool to work properly, the SolidWorks options window must be closed in order to apply the new paths. Well, we don't have the SolidWorks option window open, so that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and click Do Not Show this window, and we'll discuss it a little bit more further down the line, but I'll click OK. And then we have a list of all the folders that are underneath that folder that I selected. I may decide, oh, this is far too many folders for SolidWorks to look in, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that and remove it. I'm going to go a little bit lower. So we have this MLC folder. I'm going to go down to the myCADtools folder, and that'll be a little more manageable. So now again, when I click Apply, we'll get the file folder list, and here this looks okay, so I'll click OK. Treatment complete, I'll click OK. So before we see how effective our search path is, let's go back into the tool and take a look at the upper section. The existing folders is now populated with folders. So all of these folders are the folders that we added the very last time when I punched in that MLC folder right here. And if we want to remove, we can just click on one and remove it. We can Control Select or Shift Select. Or we can just hit Remove All. You have to be careful when removing files though. You won't get any prompt when you click either of these buttons. So once you remove those file folders, they're gone and you'll have to add them manually again. So I'll just go ahead and do that. Just add that same folder. And that treatment is complete again. So now let's go back to our file folder here. And remember the last time we opened this plunger assembly, those dependencies were broken. But this time when I open it, all of those dependencies are there without asking us to search for those parts and without any broken dependencies. So I'll just go ahead and close this. And now, remember when we had that warning that the SolidWorks options should be closed for this operation to work? Well, let's go into the options and see why. Everything that we've just done in the SearchPath tool can be accomplished in the file locations under the SolidWorks options. We can add and delete folders just by going down and selecting reference documents, And you can even see all of those file folders, the MLC myCADtools folders, show up under reference documents. So we can take care of all of this under the SolidWorks system options, and that's why these options can't be opened when we run that SearchPath tool. So there you go. The SearchPath tool is a great way to make sure that all of your SolidWorks files are organized correctly, and it gives you a more powerful, cleaner interface that allows you to filter out file folders and really narrows down where you want SolidWorks to look for those dependent files. So that's how we use the SearchPath tool in the myCADtools suite. If you do have any questions, please feel free to email SolidWorks support@mlc-cad.com. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.